Today I'm going to share with you my lemon curd recipe that has no eggs in it. For whatever reason, sometimes people can't have eggs. Lemon curd is the most delicious topping to have on things, but if you can't have eggs, you might miss out. This recipe also does not use condensed milk, which I have found a lot of the eggless recipes do use, and so this one has no condensed milk and it has no eggs in it either. Now don't get me wrong, we have a lot of eggs, but for this particular recipe I'm going to be thickening it with a cornflour instead. Now cornflour in New Zealand and Australia and the UK is what Americans tend to call cornstarch, so that's what we're using, don't get the two confused. Lemon curd has got to be my favourite way to eat lemons. What's your favourite way to eat lemons? Let me know in the comments down below. Now this video is part of the Garden to Pantry collab that's happening between some different homesteaders that have YouTube channels obviously, and we're putting together different videos on how to preserve your produce. So check out the links in the description down below for the other videos. And the very first thing you'll want to do for this recipe is to warm up your glass jars. It can be as simple as putting some hot water into them, or if you want to sterilize them so that your lemon curd lasts a little longer, you can pop them into an oven at 200 degrees Fahrenheit or 100 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes. Don't heat them too much longer than that because you risk the glass shattering. For this recipe, you're going to need 2 to 3 lemons. Now these can be homegrown lemons, they could be lemons that you got given, or they could be ones that you've bought when they're on special. You'll also need 1 cup of sugar, or alternatively, if you have it, you could use 1 cup of honey. And you'll also need half a cup of water, 1/4 cup of butter, 1/4 cup of cornstarch or cornflour, depending on what country you're in. What you want to do first is give them a really good clean. Often bought lemons are waxed. Obviously if you've grown them at home, you're unlikely to have waxed them, but give them a good wash first because we're going to be using the rind. And then you want to grate the rind of 2 to 3 of your lemons. Once you've got that grated, now you want to get the juice out. And then we're just going to put it all into a pot together and heat it on the stove over a medium heat, stirring regularly until it starts to boil. Once it starts to boil, you'll notice it does start to thicken, and it will thicken quite quickly. Once your mixture has started to thicken, it will thicken more as it cools. Pour it into your glass jars. Very carefully, it will be very, very hot. And then once your jars are nice and full, just cap them off with a simple lid. So this recipe makes about a pint or about 500 or 600 mils. I put it in a couple of glass jars that are nice and clean. I haven't actually sterilized mine because we will go through it so quickly. It will last like this for about 3 or 4 weeks quite happily in the fridge. If you want to, you can steam bath them or water bath them for 15 minutes while they're still hot, and that will give you a nice good seal and they will last a lot longer. It's still recommended that you consume them within 6 months. So that's it. Nice quick recipe today. I will see you in the next one.